Hey, what's happening, guys? So Arsenal are closing in on the signing of Polish international Jakub Kiwior from Spezia for a reported 17.5 million quid. Given the fee in question, you can expect this lad to be thrown straight into the senior squad and provide both competition as well as cover for Gabriel in that left-sided centre-half role. Needless to say, this signing won't exactly have supporters doing cartwheels in their living room, but it's precisely the kind of incoming which is necessary to challenge on all fronts. There's a myth last season that Arsenal bottled top four, but in my eyes, it was more down to injuries and fatigue than mental fragility. Arteta is acutely aware of that and will be desperate to avoid a repeat of miserable nights such as the one at St. James's Park in May, because the title is well within their grasps. While you may be thinking to yourself, where the flying fuck did this bloke come from? And that's fair enough if you're exclusively a Premier League viewer, but the likes of AC Milan and Juventus were extensively scouting him with a view to bringing him in for the summer, so it's sensible to get this done in January instead of getting into a potential bidding war further down the line. In regards to Kiwior's background, he actually came through Anderlecht's academy but headed off to Slovakia prior to making his first team debut for the Belgian Giants. His couple of years in Eastern Europe were hugely successful and what earned him a move to the Serie A. At Spezia, he stood out like a sore thumb amongst a sea of shite, because my word lads, they are utter wank. He was a big reason they beat the drop last season and appears to have done just about enough to ensure they remain in the division for this one too. Now, as far as his style of play is concerned, the first thing to note is that Kiwior is extremely versatile. While he may be a centre-half by trait, he's more than capable of being utilized as a left-back as well as defensive midfielder, so can plug any holes that pop up in regards to injuries or suspensions. One positive of playing for a side with their backs against the wall is he's accustomed to defending under pressure, and that actually suits his game down to a T. He doesn't have the most mobile of frames, so prefers to sit deep while allowing his partners at the back to be on the front foot. He's one tough bastard and essentially lives for defensive duels. In tight areas, there's almost no getting past this mountain of a man, but when isolated one-on-one, he does tend to struggle against more agile players who are capable of skipping past him when given space to run into. That being said, he's got a reading of the game which goes well beyond his years, so rarely finds himself in those kinds of situations. This is evident through his immaculate positioning and intelligent body orientation whenever asked to shut down opposition attacks. Furthermore, he's a monster in the air, so forwards may as well not bother competing when he leaps off the ground. What I personally love the most about him is his passing range. He's comfortable at building from the back and can play both short square passes as well as crossfield diagonals depending on the situation at hand, which is exactly what modern day managers want to see. Last but not least, the guy's only missed 3 games through injury in his entire career so far, and that durability is showcased by the fact that he started an impressive 94% of Spezia's games since arriving to Italy. He's not likely to spend much of his time on the bench, but observing his compatriots during games while competing with them in training will help him acclimatize to the fast-paced nature of the English game. Overall, I implore Arsenal supporters to not pass judgment immediately. Nemanja Vidic arrived to Man United in January and looked like a deer in the headlights for the first few months, only to go down as a Premier League great. So if he can perform without a preseason under his belt, it should be seen as a bonus rather than the expectation. With 9 Polish caps to his name, of which 4 were in Qatar, Kiwior is looking all set to have a brilliant career ahead of him, and I really look forward to seeing him in action at Arsenal. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy your weekends, folks. Peace.